Hi, we are back for a new tutorial. It will be the next step for the series for the watering can. We have seen how we can modeling that, also how we can unwrap that, also how we can place the texture with the shading. And now we can see the geometry nodes and how we can do the construction of the watering can with an animation. But first we need to fix some things with the shading, so we will do that now. Okay, we are back in Blender, so I will show you how we can fix the shading. So we have the object here, so I go to the solid view, I click on square normal, I go to weight pane, and we will do that again. So what I will do, I go to object mode, tab, select all, A, vertex pane, you can select the black, so it's okay, and you can press Ctrl X to paint everything in black. After I go to the object mode, I press tab, and we need this part and this part also below to be visible. So I go to the vertex pane, so we need to paint that in white. So I press X to switch the color, Ctrl X. So this part will be visible for the square normal. Okay. After I press tab, click here to confirm, I click outside, I go to the line normal, I press here, so now we activate object mode, I press tab, okay. Now we need to tell what we will be in black here in this case, so I go to vertex pane, so you see there is nothing in black. So I go to the object mode, I press tab, I select everything, I go to vertex pane, I press Ctrl X, it's already in black, so it's okay, so we can accept that. After I go back to the object mode, I press tab, and we can select this part with L, this part with L, this part with L, you can be select, and this part you say stay your mouse cursor near, and after I go to vertex pane, okay, and we paint that in white on the layer line normal. Switch the color with X, Ctrl X, now it's white, it's perfect, and now I press tab because I want to exit. Okay, we can check what we've got, and I will disconnect the preview here, and I will connect the mix, the result here, to the surface to see. Okay, and now if I press tab, you can see we see the stripe line and the white surface, so now it's fixed. Okay, it's good. After I go back to object mode like this, and we can reconnect the stuff, so I will disconnect this part, I go to the surface, and as you can see now we have some stripe, vertical stripe, and this is fixed. And now we can continue the tutorial. For the geometry node, we will follow the instruction that you can see on the studio.blender.org, but we will do that together. You can go to the geometry node, so you can click on the top, and after you can click on new. You will see two new nodes. First, you can click on Shift Tab to activate the snapping. After, we can press Shift A, and we can search for name it attribute, the first. And I will put like here. As you can see, the snapping is activated here. So if you don't find Shift Tab, you can click also on the right top. After, I can go to the data and we can go to the UV maps. And here we can just copy the name that we have here. So you can click and choose UV map. After, you can click here, drag and drop, and you can choose viewer. Like this. And after, you can select attribute to the value here. And you can see the result directly on the user perspective on the top. After, I move a little bit to the right and to the right here. And we will add a new node. So I press Shift A, search, separate XYZ, like here. And I click just here. So you'll see the vector is connected. After, I press Shift A and we can search for delete geometry. Okay, I go here, I place here. I disconnect the geometry here and I put the geometry just on the output here. So now you see the object is deleted in the preview here. I will add a new node, so I press here and I search greater than, like here. And after, I move there just to be in connection with the other. Okay, I click here, I search greater than, and I click on the top to have a connection here. I will remove the geometry from here and I will put that directly from the first node. After, we can modify the value of B. So as you can see, it's to fill. So we will put here, for the example, 0.1. If I put more, you will see the result directly here. You see, it's filled like this, so we can see that directly here. For here, we can select 0.360 and we can put the result to selection here. We can remove attribute here. And now we can reconnect the geometry to here, like this. I will change the separate to Y. Like this. And we can play a little bit to see what we have for the result. You see, I press Shift just to have a small incrementation, like you can see here. But don't forget to put the Y here. For the moment, we can let to 0.750. We will add another node, so I Shift A, search, and we can search for add, and I can place here. And after, I will change the value to the B to 1.070 here. We can connect the y to this value and the x to this value. And if you want to see the result, you can click here and you can just press shift to have a small incrementation and to see what we have here. And I like to 0.450. We can go to the modifiers and we can not display the real time. So I just click here. You see, it's a sharpen here. We will add a node here. So I make a little bit space, shift A, subdivision surface here, and I will apply here. I can move the viewer to here, I can disconnect, and I can connect from here. And after we can increase a little bit. You see, it's applied. So now we don't need this modifier, so I can remove that here, because we apply that in the geometry nodes here. Okay, we have the state here, so you can play to see a little bit, press shift just to have something smooth for the incrementation, and you can let to 240. We can see on the UV editor, so I go here, I press right click, and you can have vertical split. I just move a little bit like this, and after in this view we can change to UV editor. And if I change like this, you see, I will just press the shift so you can see that better what we have. So it's a show progressively. Okay, in the UV editor, so if we go more here, for example, I press tab, I select this island, so I press L, and I will move with G, for example. It will affect also the animation. So if we go like here, for example, when there is the part below, as you can see, if I move this part, you see it will affect also the animation, as you can see here. I just revert, it was for the demonstration here. I will put the edge crease to 1, so it will be sharpened. And we can duplicate the name attribute. So I select this node, copy, node, past. Let's pass just behind. And we can move here. After we can select crease edge. I select the crease edge, and after I can select attributes, and we can connect that to edge crease like this. So if you want to see the difference, we can disconnect and we can reconnect so you can see better. After we are here, I can remove the viewer. I press delete on that. We can exit from the object mode with tab. Okay, after we can put to 0 here. If we play the animation like this with shift, you can see what we've got here. I go here and I search group input. Okay. And now we can control from here. So I put 0. I click here. I press N to have the group option. And we can rename that. So I double click and I put evolution. We can change the min and max. So we go below. The min will be 0 and the max will be 3. We can test it, so I can move like this, and as you can see I cannot go after 3, so it will be the maximal. And we can rename that. We will rename that to GN construction FX. So if I click here and I click below, I can put exactly the same name, GN construction FX. Now I will add Suzanne. So Shift A, it's the monkey, mesh monkey. And we can put Suzanne here. Now I can add the modifier. I can search for GN construction FX. And now, as you can see, we can apply the same modifier here. And it's also affected by the UV. So if I go here, I press tab, I press R for rotate, for example, you see this is immediately affect here on the with the modifier. We can press Ctrl Z, it was just an example. And here we don't need any more Suzanne, so I will remove that. We can take the watering can. And that's it for the part of the tutorial.